Taking a look at this slide, we can see that it falls short in a few key areas. While it presents survey results with some emphasis on the mining sector, the poor formatting makes it difficult for viewers to quickly interpret the data. So, in today's video, we're going to transform this slide that simply presents raw data into a more compelling visual that's much easier to understand at a glance. Let's dive right in. Alright, here's the original slide we'll be working with. You can follow along by downloading the native file using the link in the video description, and we'll begin the redesign process by duplicating the slide. Now, the most glaring issue with this data slide is the absence of data labels. So, let's minimize cognitive load on the viewer by adding them. As you can see, the labels aren't correctly formatted. The unit and axis show percentages, while the labels display decimals. We can fix this by going to the Chart Design tab and selecting Edit Data. Let me just adjust the data window so you can see the entire workspace. Now, what I personally like to do is to retain the original data sets in the worksheets. This helps me compare it to the final formatted data set that I'll actually be using to visualize the data. And it also allows me to reuse the final visual as a chart template for future similar data sets. With that done, let's begin editing the data. So, I'll multiply this original value by 100 to get the whole numbers for the survey results. Then copy the formulas for each leading entry and ensure the same is applied to each category. After that, I'll format the cells by removing the decimal places. With that simple change, you can see that the slide becomes slightly more scannable. And to further improve scannability, especially for this visually dense dataset with multiple categories and legend entries, a better chart format will communicate the message more clearly. So let's enter the change chart type options, and instead of using a 100% stacked column chart, let's use a stacked bar chart to visualize the data. Right away, you can see that changing the chart type makes it a lot easier to compare industrial attractiveness across the listed sectors. And the horizontal layout means we have more space to increase the font sizes of the chart elements. To take it a step further, we can make the design more intuitive, as the survey result presents sequential responses from positive to negative, meaning we can establish a central axis and then diverge these bars to significantly eliminate any mental effort on the viewer's part. To do this, go to the Chart Design tab and select Edit Data again. Let me just adjust the data window so we can see the entire workspace. And since we are using a horizontal stacked bar layout, we have to visually separate these categories to the left and these to the right side of the plot area, keeping the central position at 0. Recall that formulas are applied to the data table, so edit the formula for this cell by including a negative sign before the data value, then ensure the revised formula is copied across the positive response columns. A key thing to note here is the values aren't negative, as we can see from the actual dataset. So we need a way for Excel to see and plot these values as negatives, but visualize them as positive. And we do this by right-clicking on the cells, selecting the Format Cells option, and then defining a custom number format that shows negatives as positive values. After that, we need a base value for both the left side, the positive responses, and the right side, the negative responses. To determine the base value, let's create total columns for both the left and right segments. With that done, we can see that this value is the highest value from the dataset, which means our assumed base value needs to be slightly above that value. Once we've assumed our base value, let's create remainder columns for both the right and left sides to complete the diverging bar format and ensure that it has a central position. We do this by using a formula. Recall that this will be plotted as negative, so start with the negative sign, then absolute reference the assumed base value and minus the total response from the left to get the remainder. Let me just confirm that the custom number format is still applied. Okay. Move to the right remainder column. Since this is positive, we can just absolutely reference the assumed base value and then minus the total response from the right to get the remainder. With that done, we've completed the data table needed for the diverging bar format. So we can proceed by closing the data window. As you can see, the chart is looking a bit cluttered. So right click on the vertical axis, enter the format axis options, expand the labels options and set the label position to low so that the vertical axis labels are on the left side of the chart area. Now we can see that the chart has a clear central position. So let's effectively utilize the space within the plot area by defining the minimum and maximum values and specifying unit intervals as needed. With the bounds and units set, let's proceed by minimizing non-essential elements, starting with the removal of the grid lines. Then select the vertical axis, enter the format options, and apply a thick line to create visual separation. Let me also adjust the size of these legend labels for now. Delete the horizontal axis as it's no longer needed. Now, if I hover over the bars on the right side, we can see that they follow the right order. But the series labels for the bars on the left side don't follow the right order. That is, from responses that might consider to those that definitely would consider working for the following sectors. So let's fix this by going to the chart design tab and clicking on select data. Then reorder the legend entries to ensure that the positive responses on the left follow the right order. We can confirm this by hovering over the bars on the left. Once that's confirmed, select the left remainder bars and make them invisible by removing their fill colors. Do the same for the right remainder bars, making them invisible by removing their fill colors. Now let's replace the dummy data labels on the right by entering the label options, selecting value from cells, and entering the total values for the responses on the right in the input field. Once that's done, uncheck all other label options and then position the labels on the inside base of the invisible bars. Move to the dummy labels on the left, check the value from cells option, and in the input field, enter the total values for the responses on the left. Once that's done, uncheck all other label options, position the labels on the inside end of the invisible bars, then re-enable the data labels for these bars, enter the series options, and reduce the gap width to increase the size of the bars. Now, let's apply a more intuitive diverging color palette using a single color with a 5-step progression that flows naturally from positive to negative responses with excellent contrast for readability, making the data easy to interpret at a glance. With the colors applied, let's move on to the legend labels. And since these are confusing and not effectively positioned, let's delete them. Next, enable the slide grid lines to assist with object alignment, and using the grid lines as a guide, adjust the chart size and plot area to leave room for custom legend labels. I'll just speed through this process. Now, with the chart selected, select the text box, insert it in the chart area, type your custom label as needed, maintain consistency by matching the font size, and position the label neatly as a column header for its respective bars. Once correctly positioned, duplicate the text label 4 times for the remaining legend entries, then position the remaining labels neatly as column headers and rename them to match their corresponding bars. I'll just speed through this process. To finalize the slide design and ensure that it passes the glance test, let's replace the generic title with one that's more action-oriented and leads with the main insight from the chart. While the action title follows the chart layout with the mining sector at the bottom, we can make this connection even more obvious by selecting the chart, going to the shapes group, selecting a rectangle, inserting it over the mining category, ensuring it's properly positioned, applying a black outline to the shape, making it a dashed line, and then removing the fill color, thereby annotating the chart. Alright, that completes the slide redesign. Now, just to recap the key design changes from the original slide. So, we started by adding data labels to the bars to minimize cognitive load on the viewer. Next, we switched from stacked columns to diverging stacked bars, which allows for better legend placement and the inclusion of combined totals to anchor the narrative. We also improved clarity by using a simplified color palette with a light to dark progression that flows naturally from positive to negative responses, and finished by replacing the generic title with an action-oriented headline that leads with the main insights with annotations that make the information much easier to understand at a glance. Alright, that's it for today's video. I love creating these tutorials, so drop a comment if you want more deep dives like this. If you are ready to transform raw data into stories that actually stick, check out my new product, the DataVis Pro Playbook, which teaches you the complete system for extracting insights, choosing the right visual structure, designing for clarity, and presenting with confidence. Go check it out, the links in the video description. For chart and slide templates built to top consulting and leading firm standards, check out the Analyst PPT Toolkit. Like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.